Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today I want to talk about a specific part in the patch notes. As you are aware, there are some miscellaneous fixes that are coming into this new beta, one focusing around the vampire count factions, prioritizing going for the bloodline that they are thematically aligned with. Now, a lot of people might say that's not anything important, but I feel like it might be because Creative Assembly might potentially be looking at a big vampire count DLC. Because this seems oddly too specific and they've put it in a beta just to see how it could work and to see if people notice a change. That's at least the way I see it. So we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about the vampires in general and yep, let's jump right in. But before anything, a big thank you to our sponsor, Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is a platform where you'll be able to buy games at discounted rates, even ones that haven't just released yet. There's always a great deal up and running here. It's a platform that I myself use because gaming is getting expensive. Warhammer the Old World, believe me, is getting very expensive. I'll be showcasing my Bretonnia collection very soon. The plan is for next month, by the way. So every now and then I do want to buy a game though, and I do want to get the best rate possible. Not only that, but we do have a monthly giveaway going on. Win the game of your choice. All you have to do is click on the link in the description below and sign up. You don't have to make a purchase. This is a company that I've worked with fairly often now, almost a full year, and it's great to be able to use a company that I myself trust. Recently got my hands on Fallout 76 for a friend because I don't want to pay Bethesda 40 euros for that. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal overall. The savings can be put into pretty bad financial decisions for Warhammer tabletop stuff, as always. But yeah, let's return to our regularly scheduled programming. So as it stands, the only playable bloodline for Total War Warhammer at the moment is the Von Carsteins. Despite the fact that the vampires are so popular, they've only had one DLC and that was in Warhammer 1, and a pretty lackluster rework in Warhammer 2. There's some other playable factions for the vampire counts in Warhammer 3 at the moment, but those are focused around the necromancers rather than the individualized bloodlines. So it's pretty weird that they've gone, yeah, we're going to make it so that the other bloodlines will start prioritizing their own bloodlines. Even more so when you look at the world map, because yes, other bloodlines are represented. There's the Strigoi down at Morkine, there is the Blood Dragons, well, mostly Musilon, but those are minor factions, and really, they don't last a long time. In most cases, they'll be destroyed by, 10, 15 turns, barring Musilon, which can survive a little bit more than most minor factions, mostly because they have a pretty decent legendary lord there, well, pseudo-legendary lord. He's got his own model, but he just doesn't have any mechanics. So it seems weird that they're going to be doing stuff like this if there's no intention for the vampires. And we know once again the Proving Grounds serve as a basis of testing stuff. Neferata is the least expected. I think everyone is really expecting Neferata to appear at some point, mostly because she's too popular and Creative Assembly know that she would make a lot of money. Hell, there have been loads of rumors of an End Times DLC, but it's always kind of faint, so you never know if it's true or not. It could just be, little whispers going out, sometimes false flags, I imagine. But if they are planning for Neferata, well, that could be something that they're just looking to see if it works. It is also important to note that yes, the Von Carstein faction, so Manfred and Vlad, do act independently when they're NPCs, so it could just be to fix that up specifically for them, but it's not like the vampire counts, the Von Carstein faction specifically need any extra help at that point because, yeah, they are pretty strong. Vlad does dominate sometimes. And let's be honest, the Bloodline pseudo-legendary lords, I mean, they're decent, but they're not really amazing. The most important thing about that is just the faction-wide bonuses that you get, but that's pretty much it. Now, I do think this is being done for a potential DLC in the future. Yes, there have been rumors that there's only 3 DLCs left, but my theory is that it might just be that there were 3 DLCs that were approved, and they're kind of leaving it open. There is way too much money in Warhammer. Even if they do 40k, they can easily run both together. There are multiple teams, and obviously CA Sophia are more and more active on Warhammer Fantasy, which means that CA Horsham would be working on 40k alongside some other projects, because I still firmly believe that there are multiple Total War games in development at the moment. The big question is if they're going to be looking at Vampire Count DLCs, which is a long time coming now, how are they going to do this? Neferata by herself will sell a decent amount, let's be very clear there, even if she's part of the recent Lord Pack stylings of 1v1v1. No map changes would need to happen to her because her location is already in-game, and her target location to reclaim is also there too, so you've got some victory conditions already there. And the missing vampire count stuff, the actual missing generic units, there's not a lot of them. it's mostly what? The Spirit Hosts and also the Blood Throne, along some other stuff here and there just to kind of go into the lore and get things up and running, with supplements like the Monstrous Arcanum if anything still remains from there, or maybe some mysterious stuff that Games Workshop mentioned in the past but never actually fully fleshed out. It's also entirely possible that a character such as Neferata could end up being an FLC Legendary Lord. Despite the fact that a lot of money could be earned from her, I could see her coming in for free if they do Nagash, so that way it's just Nagash as the paid lord. People would pay a lot of money for Nagash and have her for free as a big celebration thing of, I don't know, 10 years of Total War Warhammer. It's getting close to that, and given the DLC styling where everything is taking ages, it could be that point. But in a perfect world, at least in my opinion, which we've spoken about in the past, they would do a massive DLC for the vampire counts in the Champions of Chaos format, which has no official name, but I've been calling a culture pack. The reasoning for this is because there is a lot that they can do. 4 legendary lords, 1 or 2 legendary heroes if they want to have a little bit of fun with that. Sure, that would be a bunch of reskinned units just to like kind of give all the bloodlines a different distinction, but it would work incredibly well. Champions of Chaos was pretty well received because it gives you a bunch of options. It's still the same units, but it's very much different playstyles. All the locations for each of the bloodlines that are still currently missing are already in-game, barring the Necroc. But I guess they could easily be put in Grand Cafe, so you can have something different there. Put them around the same location as the Jiangxi, and yeah, you've got 1 in the Badlands, 1 in Cafe, another 1 in the Darklands, and the other 1 could literally be anywhere else. It's the Blood Dragon, right? Maybe put it in the Northern Chaos Waste, because the Blood Dragons actually fall to Chaos at some point in the End Time storyline. I know it's ridiculous, but yeah, it's important to note that. The Culture Pack format is very, very good. The fact that it's not being used enough is just kind of sad. I think it's obviously due to other issues, you know, with Shadows of Change and so on, but it's a massive shame, especially when factions such as the Vampire Counts could very, very much benefit from it. The only thing is it would have to be sold as a race pack style rather than the individualized, and I think that's something that is holding them back. They will look at it going, oh, we'll have to split them up, but there's clear factions that will sell less than others. If they do it as a race pack in the same format as Champions of Chaos or other race packs, yep, it'll cost a little bit more in general, right, because it won't be split up, but I think overall there would still be a lot of push just for Neferata alone. Get Neferata, add in a playable Yushoran, Wallach Harkin, and lastly Zacharias the Everliving, and yep, you've got a pretty fun DLC. Furthermore, if you can actually do some proper faction reworks for the Vampire Counts, giving Vlad the opportunity to become the Emperor, so being part of the Imperial Court stuff, and then maybe the Red Duke as an FLC Legendary Lord. It's a lot of vampires, but I think people will still appreciate that, considering that we've had nothing but essentially just chaos, and more chaos since the release of Warhammer 3. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. I do apologize that I've been late today. I have been non-stop sorting out some admin in the back end, and then unfortunately, a pipe burst as I was recording. It's been a very fun day, I'll tell you that. Schedule should be back to normal tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.